Hey YouTube, it's Anchor here. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing how swords could be improved in Grand Peace Online. So obviously swords are a pretty big part of Grand Peace Online. We have swords in the form of regular katanas, which can be used with one sword style. And then we have stuff like Bicento and Kirabachi and all these different boss drop swords that I guess technically are swords. I mean, maybe not Bicento because it's more of like a Naginata kind of thing, but obviously Kirabachi and that kind of thing, they kind of are swords still. And they fall under that categorization in the game. However, I've always felt like swords in GPO were a little underwhelming because I've been playing since release and I was fine with the regular katana just being a Peli thing. It had no added bonus, which is a regular standard katana. And then we got Sky Blue Katana. Now, it didn't take me long to realize that Sky Blue Katana was basically just a reskin of the regular katana, and it was the same for Ryu's blade, and it was the same for the Sea Beast Katana. Now, having a damage buff is amazing, and it really helps the weapon be different. However, it still makes it a reskin of the same sword with just like +1 damage, which, in my opinion, was a little underwhelming, considering the drop rates on these swords aren't easy to get. It's not like a thing where you can just do it a few times and get it. Sometimes it can take a lot of tries to get the sword. So how come it's just so, I guess, bland? Now, you're probably wondering, how could you improve this? Well, in my opinion, I would just like to see maybe different ultimates based on the sword. For example, Ryu's blade could have more of like a shark attack than a dragon. Sea Beast Katana could have some sort of like Sea Beast themed move, or even if you don't want to just change the ultimates, you could always just add some sort of like passive to the sword. So for example, on the 5th M1 of Sky Blue Katana, it could do like an air attack, or it could like a wind based attack. Or if you want to go like the basics, the bare bones of changing swords, you could just add like a little bit of a effect to like the M1s. So for example, there could be like a water slash effect similar to, I'm not sure if you've seen Demon Slayer, but when he does like the water move, you kind of see that like blue thing traced behind it. Maybe it could be like that for the Ryu's blade, because it's kind of like a sea, like an ocean katana basically. Now, another thing I want to talk about is more classical RPG element when it comes to things like crafting and gathering for resources. Now, if you haven't played any big MMORPGs, you probably haven't really done a lot of crafting. Maybe Minecraft, I guess, is an alternative, but a lot of games have complex crafting systems when it comes to making better weapons. GPO, I feel like could really use this, maybe some more like customization. So for example, you could go to like a swordsmith and you bring him some resources from a mountain, or some like iron from a mountain, and then you bring him like, I don't know, like some Peli, and he changes the color of the hilt or the sword. That could be awesome. I just don't think it's really like, I don't think it really captures the spirit of One Piece very well if you have swords that are basically everyone's using the same thing. Like every single one sword style user is going to use Sea Beast Katana. And once 2 sword style comes out, there's really no reason to not use just the best katanas. Like, it's not like having the wind katana gives you a special bonus. No, it's just higher damage, so that makes sense. So yeah, crafting could be awesome. Definitely crafting. If you don't want to add crafting, you could always just add sword shops, because that's a big part of One Piece 2. Most notably, we have at Logtown when Zoro goes into that sword shop to buy the I think it's Sandai Katetsu, it's one of the cursed blades, and he has all these swords on display of all different prices. That could be awesome. Maybe you could have like, I don't know, like 30 or 20 swords, maybe even just 10 swords, and the shop would constantly like rotate between, it'd be kind of like randomized. So you have to like join different public servers or reset your own private server and try and find the katana you're looking for. That could be a fun way to add like a random element to it. Yeah, maybe sword shops could be a great idea, and it would also give a use for Peli, because right now Peli's kind of useless. I know in update 4 we're getting like more clothing options, so it definitely makes sense to add like Peli for those, and that's a good idea. However, Peli for swords could also be like a thing that would actually be important to like the game's core. Like having different clothing options doesn't really affect your playstyle or how the game plays, whereas having a cooler katana or like a different like katana ability really does affect the game. Now for a moment, I just want to talk about one sword style. So we're all familiar with one sword style in the game. We all know it has the huge drawbacks of having low mobility when compared to other fighting styles because of the absence of Geppo. Now, in my opinion, this is just a thing that could be fixed really easily. You don't have to give one sword style Geppo, just give one sword style like a super jump or a super run, or I've even seen suggested running on walls, just some sort of like different mobility move. Like my idea was to give it a block break on the fifth M1, because you know it's like a single, like sorry, not the fifth M1, on like if you were running and use a katana it would block break. That was just an idea I had. Obviously it's a little bit busted, but just I think more importantly we need some sort of mobility move like a super jump or a super dash or some sort of move that isn't Geppo but also isn't like crazy broken. And I feel like one sword style needs this because in the past I have said that PvP in GPO is quite grounded, and it is quite grounded for a Roblox game, but it's definitely not that actually like objectively it's not that grounded. Like if you fought in any sort of arena match, you know that players who have low gears and the meta effectively are just going to run away, Geppo in the air, spam their moves, come down, fight you, Geppo away, come back again. And if you're a one sword style user, you can't chase them. You have to finish them in like 1 or 2 combos, which is possible and I have seen it done, but it's also like, it's just overly difficult and clunky. Like why not just give it some sort of like super jump? It's like, how do you beat a one sword style user? Well, just get like higher than like find a place higher than they can normally jump, and they have to climb unless they want to use Shishi Son. But at that point you're already gone. So, and imagine like, how are they supposed to hit you if they have to climb? You can't block while climbing, so they're basically just a sitting duck trying to chase you down. But yeah, that's like a pretty like well talked about idea of giving one sword style more mobility. Overall though, I'm really looking forward to seeing different katanas. I was super underwhelmed as someone who's played this game for the entirety of its release. Just seeing them add more and more katanas, but the only difference being they're faster and they do more damage. It's like, for me personally, that felt super underwhelming, because if you're a one sword style user, you cannot use like Kiribachi, or you cannot use Trident, or you cannot use Bicento. You kind of have to use a katana if you're a one sword style user, and your options are basically, here's 3 katanas, and admittedly the models look amazing, but on like the actual practical side of it, CB's katana is not unique at all in terms of like abilities. It's literally just a katana, which I'm cool with, but I would really like to see some sort of like unique moves, because even within One Piece, not every single person who uses a sword has the same attacks. So maybe it could be like different attacks for different katanas. And the only other alternative is that you make a different fighting style for each katana, which is a hell of a lot more work than just adding a different ultimate. So yeah, that's a move I was thinking about definitely adding. That could be really cool. So you obviously got Sky Blue Katana's got like the air move, like an air push or like an air pull, I don't know. And then Sky Blue Katana, Ryu's Blade's got like a, you know, the move that this is another thing that bugged me. The guy who uses Ryu's Blade in the at Fishman Island, I can't remember. I think his name's Ryu. I'm being stupid. His name is Ryu. He uses like Fisherman Karate in combination with it. So maybe you could have like a 5th move where it's like you shoot like a shark, like a water shark, like 3 water sharks out of your like katana. That could be a cool ultimate. Just add things that are a little bit different. I'm a little bit tired of it being so repetitive when it comes to katanas. Definitely by update 4, I think we should definitely add something. And also, I don't say this enough, but GPO, if any of the devs are listening right now, take your time. Do not rush this update. I do not care if it takes another month to release. You have to get this update down and ready. I want it to be a complete update that is very well made, and I'm sure you're going to come through with that. So yeah, just take your time. Don't be rushed by the community. The community wants the update as soon as possible because they think it's finished. If it's not finished, do not release it. And that's where I'm going to end the video. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I try and keep my videos an open discussion, so make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope you're having a great day, evening, or whatever time it is for you. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.